So this is Darren with Leaders in Business Podcast, where CEOs and executives in the digital marketing and social media space share their best advice. It is 6 questions in 9 minutes because leaders know what they're talking about. So let's get to it. In a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
My name is Andreas Deligeorge from Omnivision Design is the company. Echat123 is another good one of our brands. They are both online marketing services. And I've been doing it for about 15 years, running Omnivision Design. Our core specialties are SEO, Google Ads. We have that live chat service, Echat123. And then we have, of course, our brand Web Medical. And really we do a combination of the SEO, the Google Ads, web development, a 24/7 managed live chat service. And I would say that's the general most important points, I would say.
Well, that's awesome. And you're also a market leader in the live chat service. So that's really exciting. As entrepreneurs, we're always looking for problems and creating the solutions. So what's the best thing about leading your business?
About leading my business?
Yeah.
Getting up in the morning and knowing you're going to have an exciting day.
Yeah.
You're going to have an exciting day. You don't know if it's going to be a good one or a bad one, but it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great attitude to have. And I hear from other business leaders that it can be challenging to grow your business in today's environment, especially with the COVID and all the craziness that's going on. What are some of the biggest challenges you see business leaders facing today?
So I think some of the biggest challenges that they have right now are, especially if they're in particular industries, they're just being hit and they can't really succeed by doing what they were doing before. So they have to make some changes, and they have to wrap around the fact that they either are going to need to change the service or product itself completely or partially to adapt it to what the market is, where the market is at, and find sort of a relevant niche. The second one is going to be to sort of repackage the existing service or product, meaning, great example would be, you got a pizzeria right here. There's nobody here, okay? There's no lineup. There's nothing going on here. So how can we help this pizzeria? Real life example, by the way, I had a meeting with them. And they sell frozen pizzas. So knowing that they sell frozen pizzas and nobody is walking up to their door, they could do the inverse. They could go to the people and they could deliver pizzas to people's doorstep once a month, deliver 4 pizzas, so they have a pizza each week, and sell it as a monthly subscription service, just like Adobe now sells all of its softwares with a $9.99 plus price point per month. Build that sort of recurring revenue and that customer loyalty and upsell, because let's face it, who eats, who orders from the same place 4 pizzas every month, right? That would take them to another level. Unless you're like a real big, Domino's fan or something like that. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe you Americans, I mean, I'm Canadian, right? So maybe you Americans are eating 4 pizzas a month, but it would definitely increase their sales. So you transform the actual packaging of the service or the product itself. The pizza stays the same. You don't have to change anything, okay? But you just take that same product, take what you're doing, and you package it differently, and you bring it to a different target audience. So either you're doing that, or you're just finding a completely different audience for the same product that you've been selling. That's like a hot market right now that has a budget that is going to buy your service, that maybe now that the market has shifted is a better fit for your service. So I'll repeat it again, which is either you change the product itself or the service itself, you change it. So instead of pizzas, we're selling XYZ. In their case, that's not going to work. You change how you serve your customer that same product. So in this case, you're doing a door-to-door delivery, changing the service, so it's no longer just buying a pizza. It's a monthly subscription service. You're changing the packaging of that. Or you find an entirely new audience for the same product. Another example, a good example for that one would be, we have a client in the corporate gift space, which, they sell a lot to museums, institutions, and non-for-profits, but those businesses are just not happening right now. No one's going to museums. A lot of their current clientele is suffering. So they have to go and zero in into the ones, their client base, which is doing well right now. So they have to find the IT companies, the web companies, anything that is like a booming business right now because of COVID. IT is good because of cloud. Cloud is exploding. People are communicating more remotely now and working from home. Web is huge because, let's face it, retail took a hit and everybody wants to do everything online. Look at Amazon sales, they're just exploding. So, you have to just do one of those three things. It's either going to be about just changing the product or service, repackaging and changing the service offering, the way you're putting forth that same product or service, or finding a different market that is hot right now, and then maybe tailoring a little bit that service so that it appeals even more.
Yeah.
Right? So for example, this corporate gifts company, they're selling ties, they're selling pashminas. Millennials who work in tech companies, are they going to be wearing ties and using pashminas? Maybe not. Maybe they need to just, change the product, come up with something more functional or whatnot. So really, that's my advice to anybody in those industries. Restaurant industry was hit hard. Trade show industry was hit hard. Anything to do with performances, live performances and events was hit hard. And of course, corporate gifts, one of my clients was hit extremely hard as well because of that particular setup and target audience and stuff. So those are my biggest points that I would suggest to all business owners right now to reflect on their business during COVID.
Thank you. Yeah, reminding us all as entrepreneurs, we have to innovate and be creative during these times. And if you just had one very quick little nugget, what is the best advice you can give other business leaders about creating a successful business today?
Best advice for other business leaders in general, I'm going to put it on working on your product, because I'll get back to the fact that if you have a really good product, you're going to be selling it no matter what. And the people that you do sell to will buy again from you. So you're going to have, recurring customers, and you're going to be able to upsell or cross-sell them with other products. Plus, you're going to be able to get referrals from them. So building the solid product or service is key. After that, you definitely have to work on either the messaging or the branding component, which kind of go hand in hand, which is just figuring out how you're going to put that forth. And then the third key ingredient there is figuring out who is going to appreciate your product or service the most and tailoring into that target audience.
Absolutely. So what other successful business leaders like yourself would you like to acknowledge and should be on the podcast?
If you can get Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or Richard Branson on here, it would be great. But if you're looking for an online marketer, I would go with Neil Patel, because that guy is just always in my face for some reason. He's just everywhere. So if he's everywhere in my face, he's probably everywhere in somebody else's face too.
He's clearly doing something right. So now for the final fun question, who's the most interesting person to follow on social media?
Interesting person for me personally, like legit interesting, I got to hand it to Elon Musk. I mean, this guy's literally in another universe, okay? He's going to be taking us to Mars, digging, tunnels underground, those boring tunnels. He's got the Boring Company. It's called the Boring Company. He's got, the SpaceX company, which has, the word sex in it, SpaceX. He did that on purpose. And, of course, Tesla. I mean, I want one. I'm going to be getting one eventually. If you haven't test driven one, I mean, that's, as far as technology and stuff, my goodness, you're in a rocket ship. What can I say?
Very cool. Definitely check them out. So it was a pleasure having you on. How can people find you?
OmniVisionDesign.com, Echat123.com for our live chat service. Prices there are in USD. And that whole site is dedicated to other agencies to be reselling that service to their customers.
Awesome. Well, that's a wrap. This is Darren with the Leaders in Business Podcast. For more insights and ideas, go to our website, leadersinbusinesspodcast.com. Thank you so much.